Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. It is a great time to be a Tennessee fan. Baseball team 20-0, number one team in the country. Yeah, the SEC tournament didn't play out the way you wanted in basketball, but this basketball team has a pretty dang good draw in March Madness. I think they have an opportunity to make a run to the Final Four. What do you guys think? You can talk about it in the comments. We're a little over a week into Josh Heupel's fifth spring camp at Tennessee. It's hard to believe, man. I know it gets old talking about how far down this team was when Josh Heupel took over, but it makes every win that much more sweet. I'm not taking a run to the college football playoff for granted because I remember where we were at. I remember the Dooley years, the Butch years, the Jeremy Pruitt years. Josh Heupel is 37-15 since taking over, double-digit wins in 2 out of 4 years since he's been here. And you got to remember, man, no other coach has done that since Philip Fulmer, the last coach to win a national championship at Tennessee, the last coach to win an SEC championship at Tennessee. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited as we head into year 5. And I get it. We've got some questions. This team has some question marks about it. That may cast some doubt over how some of you guys feel. We're replacing 4 starters on the offensive line. Is that a problem? I don't know. We're replacing our best player on offense in Dylan Sampson. We got to replace James Pierce Jr. Wide receiver room completely depleted after the mass exodus to the portal. Sounds like a bunch of doom and gloom. Are you worried? What's the latest news coming out of spring camp? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. You guys know the deal. This is YouTube. I need your help. Smash that little thumbs up button right down there. Destroy it. Smash it. Press it. It helps the channel. If you're new here, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not reporters. We don't pretend to be any of that. We are exactly what you are. We are here to talk Tennessee football every single day because we are diehard, passionate, psychotic Tennessee fans. If you like what we do, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. You want to go a step further, hit that join button right down there beside subscribe. You can become a member of this channel for just $1 a month. It's what allows me to do this. I get to come on here and talk Tennessee football with you guys, Tennessee recruiting with you guys every day because of the support of our members. So if you like what we do, click that join button, or you can also use the link in the description if you're on an iPhone. Enough plugs and chills. Let's talk about some of the questions going into year 5 of the Josh Heupel era. And I want to start, you look, it's wide receivers, it's offensive line, it's running backs. There's a lot of questions on the offensive side of the ball. But again, just because you're young in certain position groups doesn't mean you can't be good. Heck, it doesn't mean you can't be better than you were a year ago. Is that the case with the wide receiver room? I think we're first and foremost going to have more speed at wide receiver this season, more speed with Mike Matthews, more speed with Braylon Staley. And let's start with Mike. He's a guy that is getting a lot of buzz around him in spring camp. You know, we got a lot of buzz last year. We didn't really see that on the field. Had a lot of questions as to why. Why is Mike Matthews not getting on the field? Well, VolQuest has kind of reported he needs to be more consistent. So is Mike going to take that jump from year 1 to year 2? We've seen that with a lot of guys. We saw it with Jalen Hyatt. Can Mike Matthews take that jump? Can Braylon Staley do the same? He's a guy that I don't think he's getting enough talk in spring camp. I think he's a guy that can be explosive in this offense. Again, he has that speed. Brent Hubbs did mention him in the Monday night chat last night as a guy that's having a good spring, but it's been kind of quiet. I think he can be a weapon for Nico. I think he's got good speed. I think he's explosive. What about Boo Carter, right? Everybody's excited about Boo Carter jumping over from defense, going to take some snaps on offense. The word from VolQuest, in quotes, should definitely help this team on offense. Now, the question to me is, how many snaps does he get? We need Boo Carter on defense, but how many snaps does he actually get on offense? And it's no surprise. It's no surprise to me that he's going to help this team offensively. Seeing him play in person, seeing his highlights from high school. I mean, the guy is a playmaker with the ball in his hands. We've seen that on special teams, but whether it be at the running back position, whether it be at the wide receiver position, does Tennessee get creative? Do they put in some type of wildcat package for Boo Carter? I don't know. It's exciting. It's exciting to see how he's going to be able to help this team. One thing that's kind of surprised me, no real talk about Chris Brazzell in that wide receiver room. So again, yes, we're young. We're young, and that doesn't mean you can't be better. I mean, look at the 2 deep. The 2 deep on the screen here. This is a depth chart from ourlads.com. This thing will move around. It'll change, but I like it. It kind of gives you an idea. But you look at the 2 deep, you got 2 true freshmen in Bradarius Jackson and Travis Smith. Now, Travis Smith is a guy that again, not to use the same word, but I will, explosive. But he's also got confidence, man. Travis Smith has confidence, and a lot of people think that he can contribute to this football team as a true freshman. How fast can Amari Jefferson get healthy, right? He's not 100% right now, coming off the hip surgery in the offseason, but I think Amari Jefferson is a guy that we should be excited about, and I am excited about. But when you look at the wide receiver room, when you look at the starters, I think they can be better. It is a question with depth for me. Let's talk about the offensive line. Another question, right? You're replacing 4 of your 5 starters on that offensive line. That's clearly a problem. Is it? Lance Hurd, your one returning starter. He looks good physically. I personally think Lance Hurd's going to take a huge step from year 1 to year 2. David Sanders, everybody's talking about David, of course, 5-star offensive tackle. He was the crown jewel of the class of 25. I said all year long, David wasn't the icing on the cake. David was the whole cake. David was the guy that was going to make or break the class of 25. Tennessee gets him the boat. Now you're going to say, does he start as a true freshman? I made a video last week saying, can we trust David Sanders? That's what I'm talking about. Can we trust him as a true freshman? There was questions about his weight coming in. Already put on 20 pounds since arriving at camp. Since arriving on campus, he's already put on 20 pounds, up to around 290. Still hasn't lost that athleticism. Still working with the 2s and 3s, but from what I've seen, he wants to earn it. He has no problem repping with the 3s, repping with the 2s. The kid, man, he's built different. His mindset, his attitude, he's so mature for his age. And I played this clip on the live stream. We've talked a lot of recruiting and videos, a lot of spring camp in the live streams. And again, we're going to be live tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, talking about spring camp. I want you to take a listen to this clip from David Sanders.
Me, Ethan, G-Mac, Basan, we were all really tight during the recruitment process. So now we got here, we've talked about what we want to do. So holding each other accountable, bro, we want to win a national championship, so you got to work hard. We can't let you come in late or slack during workouts if that's what our end goal is. So I think that was a great thing about recruitment, is really being able to build those relationships with the guys you're going to be with for the next 3 to 4 years, and that helps with, team bond and, just chemistry and being able to tell somebody something and, it won't hurt their feelings, being able to get on somebody. If I see one of my teammates slacking, I can get on you, but it's from a good place. It's from love, not just me trying to harp down on you. But getting to know those guys made it a lot easier transition because we already have that chemistry to be able to talk to each other, have fun, and still get the work done.
You said
culture is such a buzzword in college football, and I get it, and we say it a lot on this channel, but the proof is in the pudding. When you hear David Sanders speak and he talks about holding each other accountable, man, that's a true freshman. That's a kid that right now should be a senior in high school, and he's talking about holding his teammates accountable. I love the culture that Josh Heupel has created. We saw it with Isaiah Campbell. We talked about it a lot Wednesday night during the live stream. You watch the juice that they just put out with the Tennessee football team for spring camp, and they're talking about, champions don't hope to win. Champions don't want to win. Champions expect to win. Nico said the expectation is to win a national championship. They failed last year, but that's the goal. The goal is a natty in 2025. And David Sanders, man, he just fits the mold for what Josh Heupel is doing. But what if he doesn't start at right tackle? Who does? Larry Johnson is a guy that also looks good at right tackle. He's lost a lot of weight. He's in shape. He's lean. That excites me. Depth, boys. Depth is what we need. The 2 transfers, those guys are golden. Those guys are veterans. I think those guys are leaders. When Sam Pendleton spoke with the media, love that guy, love his mindset, love the way he wants to protect his brothers. I think we're going to be solid at guard with Wendell Moy Jr. and Sam Pendleton. The center position, William Satterwhite, Max Anderson, Nick Moore, all competing for that starting job. I think it's going to end up being Satterwhite. Everything that I've seen says that Satterwhite understands the offense. He understands it. He grasps it. He's got it mentally. He needs to be more physical in the trenches. Running back, you got to replace Dylan Sampson, right? There's a lot of buzz in camp right now about Dwan Morris. He's added 20 pounds. I get it. He is a true freshman, but the coaching staff seems really high on him. All the buzz in the media is about him. I've not heard a lot of talk about anybody else in that running back room until I was listening to J.D. Pickell earlier last week, and he mentioned Deshaun Bishop. And somebody commented, because I love me some Peyton Lewis. I think Peyton Lewis is going to be RB1. Somebody commented and said, you don't know what you're talking about. Deshaun Bishop is a dude. I have done nothing but give Deshaun Bishop love. I'm excited about Deshaun Bishop. And, I thought we had a 3-headed monster with Peyton Lewis, Deshaun Bishop, Star Thomas, but do not sleep on Dwan Morris. That running back room could be something special. And I talk a lot about this offense is built for successful running backs. So when we got a room full of them, that excites me at the running back position. Let's go over and take a look at defense here. I think this defense can take another step in 2026. And I say that believing that Tim Banks and this defense was very, very good. Were they elite? I don't know. But they are quietly working throughout the course of the spring. You're talking about a defense that gave up only 16 points per game a year ago, 7th best in the country. You look at the guys on the defensive line, I think they're pretty solid in the two deep. That was something else that J.D. Pickell said keep your eyes on Jackson Moy. But, man, Jackson Moy, Bryson Easton, Josh Joseph, Don Bailey, that's a veteran bunch on that defensive line, a veteran bunch. Well, let's talk about the two deep. Tyree West, David Hobbs, Caleb Herring. I think Tennessee is going to have plenty of bodies for Rodney Garner to rotate on that defensive line. Your linebackers, Arian Carter, I think is only going to get better. Jeremiah Thielander, only going to get better. Edwin Spillman is going to be a dude that you're not going to be able to keep off the football field. He is a gamer. He is a competitor. Maybe some question marks in the secondary because of the injury to Jermod McCoy, but it's good that Ricky Gibson is out there going through camp. A lot of talk about Caleb Beasley moving to the safety position. I think you're going to be more athletic with Jacoby Thomas. What about Jordan Ross? What about some of these young guys? And VolQuest, again, in the Monday night chat, Matt Ray is a guy that said that Caleb Herring is a guy that is continuing to progress and going to help that room. That's exciting. That's encouraging to hear. Austin Price also said that Jordan Ross, they are pushing him. They want Jordan Ross to be that dude. I think this defense is going to be good, but there's not a lot of buzz around them. All eyes are on the offense. All eyes are on that wide receiver room and on that offensive line unit. And I think they have an opportunity to be better in 2025. And then, of course, it all starts with quarterback Nico Iamaleava, a guy that's trying to be more of a vocal leader. You know, we talked about him working with Mike Matthews in the offseason and mentioned putting a new scheme in. How much is there to that? How many tweaks do they make to this offense? You know, we saw a year ago, 12 personnel. That's something that Josh Heupel hadn't done a lot of. They utilized that a lot. It won them some ball games last year. So what does this offense look like? What does this scheme look like? It's going to be interesting to watch, man. We'll continue to keep up with spring camp, but just wanted to make a quick video. I've spent more time covering recruiting and then kind of talking about spring camp in the live streams. I know some of you guys prefer videos over live streams. So wanted to jump on and kind of recap what's going on a little over a week into spring camp. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also support by becoming a member of the channel by hitting that join button down below. All the links are in the description below, but that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.